Craft Little Things. I'm Andrea. First things first, I ran a recent giveaway for reaching 1,000 subscribers on this channel, and the winner of that was somebody called Tracy Heyman. I did leave a message on the original post where she'd commented, but this is going out to Tracy. 2 balls each of these 3 shades of yarn, wool nylon blend, 100 grams, DK. Now what I'm here for, I don't even know where that's come from, is to have a look at books 24 and 25 of Big and Little Crochet. These seem to be arriving thick and fast, faster than I can keep up with lately. I've got loads going on in my life, so yeah, fitting things in is going to be a little bit tough, but I'm going to try my best. Right, so these came with, 24 came with the teal and 25 came with the, I think this is the river, it might be, or the sky blue. Okay, so I'm going to do the hexagons as well as have a quick flick through the books. This 24 is Scandi style, so it's got some Scandinavian style patterns in it. One of the things I do love is this bag. I think it's beautiful. I quite like the hearts and kisses cushion, and the wavy throw. I think that would look really nice as a rug, as it's used there. Little pots, little headband, all sorts going on in there. A hat with ear flaps, a log basket, a jumper, sweater. Yeah, so there's lots going on in there. And then there's a 2-tone hexagon, which uses the teal and also some leftover blush, which is this, but I think I have some leftover in my kit. So I'm going to be doing that. And then in book 25 we've got hearts and flowers. These little trinket boxes here. I love this cushion. It's very sort of eclectic, if you like. It's got lots of bits and bobs to it, but it's pretty. And this little bolero jacket is so cute. Be lovely for a little girl. A little purse, gorgeous like 20s style hat, flapper style hat. Little trinket boxes. How to make a hair clip. Little hanging hearts. Yeah, so there's all sorts in there. And then this hexagon is a half hexagon this time. A blue puff half hex. And that uses the sky provided and some leftover slate. It also says and rose, but I really don't think it does need any rose. I can't see where you'd use it, but anyway. Right, so I'm going to get started and have a go at this one. Now, one of the things you do get with the Big and Little Crochet subscription is this handy little crochet bag. I just keep my hook. You also get your 4mm hook with the whole caboodle and a little crochet kit. But I've got some leftovers here. I do keep all my leftover yarns and my completed hexagons in here. So yeah, I need a little bit of that. And it was a ball of teal. So I'm just going to see if I've got any teal that is in need of teal there. It's still full. I seem to have tons of yarn left over, but I know people have complained that there's not enough white to join them, but just pop those together. The hexagon, I did do it. I didn't film myself doing hexagon 23 because it was just rows backwards and forwards and it was boring. If you do want to see me film hexagon 23, right, so 2-tone hexagon then. Materials: a ball of teal yarn provided and the leftover blush. Save any yarn left over. You need a 4mm hook and a large blunt-eyed needle, which I've got over there. You need to do a foundation round, making a ring, and we're sewing into the ring. This is quite interesting, so I've not done this before, so I'm just going to work through it with you. We've got some good light today, so I'm going to pop my pattern out of sight and I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to hope that I stay in shot. So I'm going to take the teal and I'm going to chain 6. So first of all I have to do my slip knot. Just one moment, I'm just going to move my camera closer to me. Yeah, so first of all I'm going to do my slip knot. I just don't want it. You can do that however you choose. I do have tutorials on doing a slip knot, but I just lay my yarn over my hands, wrap it around, catch it with that finger, hook under the first one and pull through the second one. So we're going to chain 6. So yarn over and pull through the loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to join with a slip stitch to form a ring. So go into that first stitch, put your hook in, pull through some yarn, and then pull it through the loop on your hook. And now you have a circle to sew into. And make sure you're sewing into that circle and not into one of the stitches. Sorry, to crochet into. Some people don't like it when I say sew. And because I do sew and crochet and do all sorts of other things, I sometimes get my terminology a bit mixed up. It's not that I'm ignorant or whatever, it's just that it's the words that are going on in my head. So for the first round then we're going to chain 2. So 1, 2. And then we're going to do 2 treble clusters. Now if you're not sure what a treble cluster is, you can look at the abbreviations on the back cover of the book. And what we do for a treble cluster, a 2 treble cluster, is this is acting as the first treble in a 3 treble cluster. So we're just doing 2 more to make it into a 3. Does that make sense? Anyway, it will in a minute. So yarn over, put the hook in, draw up some yarn. So we've got 3 on the hook, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And then we yarn over again, put into the circle, pull up some yarn, we've got 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. We've got 3 on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. And that'll make our 2 treble cluster. Now what it is it's 2 treble stitches, which are double stitches in the US, just clustered together. But then because of this chain 2 here, it's effectively a 3 treble cluster. So then what we want to do is chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then we want to do a 3 treble cluster. So this is yarn over, hook into the centre, pull up a loop. So we've got 3 on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2, leave 2 on your hook, yarn over, into the circle in the middle, pull up a loop. So you've got 4 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, you've got 3 on your hook, yarn over, into the circle, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, got 4 on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 4, and that's your 3 treble cluster. And now you chain 3 and you do another one, yarn over, into the centre, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, into the centre, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, into the centre, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through all 4, and then chain 3. Now what you want to end up with is 6 3 treble clusters and 6 chain spaces. Okay, so another one. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 clusters and 1, 2, 3, 4 chain spaces. Now what you might need to do is just pull your work around a bit to free up a bit of your ring, otherwise you're going to start catching it onto here. So we need to do 2 more clusters. Then chain 3 and 1 final cluster. Push your work around a bit. Just going to bring down some more so that you can get into that circle, into the circle, or into the ring. Yeah, it's amazing what people go out of the way to comment on on YouTube. You can do hours of work and nobody says a word, and then you say a word wrong, or you know, and they pick up. People pick up on negatives, don't they? I'm not like that, so I don't really take any notice of other people who are. So, right, so you've got your 6 clusters and your 6 sets of chain spaces, okay? And we joined with a slip stitch to the top of that chain 2 that we did in the very beginning. So now for the second round, it says to slip stitch. Where to? I've no idea. I'm assuming it means to slip stitch into, I don't know, slip stitch to a chain space, I think. So I'm just going to slip stitch across into a chain space. I'm just thinking that because it looks like the next 2 clusters come out of a chain space. So yeah, I've slip stitched into this chain space, and I'm just going to chain 2 and then do the 2 treble cluster like we did in the beginning. So yarn over into the space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over into the space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 3, and then we chain 3 and we pop another 3 treble cluster into the same space. Okay, 2, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 4 on the hook. So when you've done your second treble cluster here, what you want to do is just drop your teal yarn back, keep your loop on your hook, hook your blush over and pull it through the loop on your hook. Now the loop on your hook will get very loose, so just pull your teal yarn down at the back, let your straggler from the rows drop, and then just chain your 3 using your rose or your blush yarn, whatever colour it is. And now these 2 stragglers, pull them together. You can tie them together. I am going to tie them together just to secure them. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep them together and I'm going to sew them in, and because I need to take the teal across to the next 2 stitches anyway. So now I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to go into this chain space here with a 3 treble cluster. So I'm going to put my hook in, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, hook in, keep that yarn behind so it's been sewn in and across, yarn over, pull through all 4, chain 3, so the pattern's not changing, and then do another 3 treble cluster, and just be sure to be working over that yarn in the background there. 3, and then connect the top there. Sorry about that. So yeah, so now we've got this, which is looking quite pretty. And then we don't fasten off either colour. And now we go with our teal and we slip stitch into the chain space there. So we're into that chain space between the two teal clusters, and then we're going to do a chain 2 and then a 2 treble cluster. So yarn over into that space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over into the space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 3. 3 chains. It's not rocket science, this, is it? It's just getting that colour changing right. And we do another 3 treble cluster this time. And then we changed the blush yarn, which I haven't worked across. So I'm going to have to take that down. Right, so for the next round then, remember to work your blush across, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold both of mine, I'm going to go into this chain space and I'm going to slip stitch using both colours so that they're both coming out of the same, whoops, so they're both now in the same chain space, okay? And I'm just going to drop my blush and pick up my teal. And then I'm going to chain 2, and then I'm going to do a 2 treble cluster again, just like we did at the beginning. So yarn over into the space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over into the space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 3. And then we've got our yarn, we're going to be working that across the back there. So 1, 2, 3 chains. Keep working bringing your rose yarn or your blush yarn across, and then we're going to do 3 treble clusters, just as we've done all the way through. Nothing's changing. The patterns are very simple. It's just the colour changes that are a little bit awkward. So we've got our 2 teal there, and now we drop back to the blush and we chain 3, just like before. It just needs a little pull to keep it nice and tight. Keep our teal yarn working across, and then we're just going to work the 3 chains and then 3 treble clusters in the next, a 3 treble cluster in the next. Okay, so we're only going to do 1 treble cluster there, and then we're going to do chain 3, and we're going to put 2 into the next one. This is to give us our shaping. So do a 3 treble cluster there, and the chain 3 and the 3 treble cluster. So this is where our pattern's changing a little bit. Okay, because we're starting puppies. Because we're going to start to make corners now. Okay. And then we do 3 chains and a 3 treble cluster over into here. Okay. Keep that teal yarn held across the back. And there we go. So then we have a set of 4 treble clusters there. And now we transfer to the teal and we do 3 chains. And we do 3 treble cluster in here. But we only do the 1, I think. A 3 treble cluster. No, 3 chains. And a 3 treble cluster into the same space. Two treble clusters with a chain 3 in the teal. Then we've got 1 treble cluster, then 2 and a chain 3, then 1, then 2 in the teal, and then we change back to the blush and we do the same again, and that's going to start giving us our hexagon pattern. So we're working with the rose, but we're carrying the teal over with us, okay? So yarn over into that chain space and do 1 3 treble cluster, okay? And then chain 3, and then we want to do a treble cluster, a 3 treble cluster, chain 3 and a 3 treble cluster in this one, okay? And then chain 3, keep this teal going across all the way, and then just put 1 3 treble cluster in the next space. Okay, then change back to the teal and chain 3. And then in the teal space, do a 3 treble cluster, a chain 3 and a 3 treble cluster. Okay, chain 3 and a 3 treble cluster. Okay, and then we'll change back to the blush and we'll chain 3 and then we'll carry our teal forward, yarn over, and we'll just do 1 3 treble cluster into that space. Okay, that's 1 3 treble cluster, pull through all 4, got that bit stuck there, chain 3, and then we're back into this space. So what we're going to do here is carry our teal yarn across the back, yarn over, and we're going to do a 3 treble cluster, chain 3 and a 3 treble cluster all in the same space. Okay. Then in our final space we're going to do chain 3, and we're going to carry our yarn across, and we're going to pop in 1 3 treble cluster into that space. So 3 treble cluster, and then we're going to join, we're going to chain 3, and we're going to join with a slip stitch to the top of that first chain 2. Okay, so that's us now. So now we can fasten off the blush. So yarn over and pull through. Snip that off, and we can fasten that off. We don't need that anymore. And this is what we've got so far. So these are going to be our corners of our hexagon. You can see the hexagon shape. It's really nice, this one, isn't it? This one's very different, this last round. So pay attention. I've slip stitched into the space between the 2 teal clusters. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 3, 1 2 3. I'm going to do 2 trebles, not a cluster, 2 trebles. So yarn over into the space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over into the loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and now I'm going to do 2 chains, and I'm going to do 3 trebles again into the same space. So 3 trebles, not clusters, just 3 simple plain forward trebles, which are doubles in the US. So I've got 3 trebles, a chain 2 and 3 trebles there, because that first chain 3 acts as a treble. And now in the next space I'm just going to put in 3 trebles. One, no clusters, just trebles. 2, 3. And then in the next space, I'm going to put 3 again. 1, 2, 3. And now into this corner space, I'm going to put 3 trebles, 2, 3, a chain 2 and 3 more. Okay. And then I'm going to put 3 trebles in the next space. 3 trebles in the next space, and then in the next space 3 trebles, 2 chains and 3 trebles, because there are corners. So 3 trebles, doubles in the US, 2 chains and 3 trebles. I've really enjoyed making this one. I think it's lovely. Much more fun than the last one. The last one was so tedious. And then 3 trebles into the next space. Three into the next. and into this corner space here, 3, oops, 3 trebles, chain 2 and 3 trebles, and that's it to the very end. Slip stitch into the top of the chain 3, pull through and fasten off. And there you have it. Beautiful hexagon. Really love that one. Really enjoyed making that one.